Let's create something beautiful together today. From used dryer sheet, we're going to make a fabric, and we're going to use leaves to make a print on that fabric. And one day I was visiting my granddaughters and they said, let's make our Barbie a dress. So we didn't have any fabric and we grabbed whatever we had. So you literally can just run into your laundry and grab a couple used dryer sheets and start creating with your children. And you will be creating memories they will remember for the rest of their lives, like I did. When I was growing up in USSR, we had little in stores, and my grandma and my mom were making me pretty outfits. And I always felt so pretty and so loved. And so depending on whom you're creating for, maybe it's your girls who just love to be princesses. So I created little necklace with lace and I put little pink rose which I made from a ribbon. You just buy a ribbon at any craft store and they already have pre-made flowers. So I just cut one little section where flower is. And then I used lace to decorate my apron, which we're going to be making from this used dryer sheet. And on this one, I actually use stencils. But today we're gonna be making our fabric with prints made from leaves, natural leaves. And so, for my girls who love pink, of course I used all several colors of pink, from light to bright. And also I added as a trim lace, but it's work in progress. By the time I'm done with this project, it might look nothing like what you see right now. Right now, I just pinned it in just to show you where I'm going with my idea. So there will be fluffy sash or a tie. But let's say you're making this as a gift for someone who likes rustic in their house. And so what you can do, instead of using lace, let me remove it real quick. I would use maybe a ribbon which is burlap ribbon. And I might use whatever I have in my house. I always, when I'm not using clothes anymore, and I'm not gonna donate them to Goodwill because they're worn out, I would cut all buttons or zippers and I keep them. And so one time my dress had this cute little button looking like a rustic flower. So I would grab it and maybe make a necklace for my bunny with burlap ribbon and put this cute little button on it. Isn't it cute? And then I might decorate my apron with burlap. Just put it as a trim right here on the bottom or right here as a sash. Up to you, your project. You can be as creative as you want and use whatever items you love. But let me just show you how process was. I'm just unpinning just to show you actually process of making the apron. And we're going to actually do print with leaves. But I removed my pins. Let me untie my sash. And let me put bunny away. But you see how simple and nothing exciting about this bunny. Just regular bunny. I've actually bought it on sale after Easter was over. It was 79 cents. I'm quite happy about it. I had it for years, but it wasn't nothing exciting about it. And one day I decided, you know, I'm gonna make it pretty. So we're gonna put our bunny aside. And this is the apron part, okay? And I'll show you what I did. I just made it double layered. And so how I created first layer? Of course, it was just a dryer sheet, used dryer sheet. So what I did, I just put a little bit water and I just add a little bit, just a touch of this green paint and just put my dryer sheet in it and just start dabbing it while I transfer all the color on my lint sheet, okay, just like that, just to give you idea what it is. And so after you completed the process, I would put it to dry on a parchment sheet, okay? So it's gonna be quick, dried in maybe 5 minutes and you will be able to continue your project. So now I want to show you how I created this fabric with leaves from branch I cut from my bush in my garden. Isn't it pretty? And also, you know, my mom and grandma taught me how to sew and knit and crochet. And they used a lot of decorating with glass seed beads. So just as a memory of what they did for me and for my girls, I just attached a couple seed beads here just to bring a yellow color, just to make it lovely. And again, you can use whatever you want. You might want to use sequins if you're going for glamour and sparkle. Okay, so let's actually start creating. As simple as that. I'm using my paint from dollar store or any craft store you might want. And what I like to do, I like to go from light to dark color. On one branch, I'm going to be doing this. First, I start from light color. Let me do just bigger ones so you can see it better. In couple places, I just place my paint just like that. And you feel like a child when you're doing it because it's nothing fancy. It's just something like children like to do when they play with paint. They just enjoying what they do and there is no rules. So you just do what you feel like, where you want to put it, how you want to do it. Totally relaxing, especially after a couple last weeks was very stressful at work, deadlines, and you understand me. So I just love doing art. It's very relaxing. You do what you really want. You take your time. There is no deadlines. You want to do it. You do it on your own terms, the way you want it. And here we go. Isn't it pretty? We went from this to this in just a second. And what you will be doing, you just in random places, again, no rules, whichever way you want it to be. So let's say I want it right there. And you just pressing it in order, you press hard so paint transfer very nicely on your dryer, lint dryer sheet, okay? Just like that, you just press it, nothing fancy, easy, and you remove it. And look at that. Isn't it already coming alive? And you continue with this process. And let's say you want a little bit different size. So you grab again your paintbrush. And again, no rules. The way you want it. Just be a kid. Enjoy. And I'll show you how to define this print in our next step. If you want to be really organic and maybe like color of watercolor. Totally fine, you can leave it as it is, up to you what you're going with it, what you like. And let's say I want it here. And I just again press really firmly. So paint transfers. If leaves fell here, it's fine. Just keep as it is, no rules. You can move them around. That's why it's so forgiving. It's your art. You do the way you want it. Isn't it our favorite comment, guys? Isn't it pretty? And so you, after you paint it the way you want it, you can put it to dry on a parchment sheet. And you see, because it's so thin, it keeps transferring to your surface where you're working on. So good idea to keep baby wipes and just wipe it right away so you continue your work. And remove your brushes, put them in the water so they don't dry up. Close your paint bottle so they don't dry up. And we will be moving to next step after we do a little bit cleanup. See, you can use just a little tiny space you have. Right now I'm working in my dining room. Should I be in my son's house with my grandbabies? We might be doing it also in the living room. Any space is great when you're creating memories with your loved ones. So after our dryer sheet dried, you can add defining touches. What I like to do, you can grab either Sharpie or any acrylic markers you have in your house. If you have them, not run to store. You choose whatever color you want. For example, let's say I want to define this leaf. So what I would do, I would just outline it with my Sharpie in this particular moment. And let's say I want to make it look like it has veins in the leaf. So I grab my acrylic marker and I just do veining, just like that, just like real leaf. And if I want to add a little bit touch of green or stem, I just might do this. Just again, whatever color you think will be best, you can change anything you're doing the way you want it, okay? So general idea, just like that. And after we done that, of course, you can start sewing in your embellishments. Like I said, this is just glass seeds. And you see how, again, transfer because it's so thin. Again, you grab your baby wipe and you just wipe it off. Because I use Sharpie and it's permanent, but you still just make sure it doesn't transfer right now, whatever you will be doing on. So that's good enough. So now we're going to actually make an apron. Dryer sheet we have. We're gonna be making a sash. You just fold it in half, you fold it one more time. You can run your nail across so it's creased well for you to cut. You don't have to measure anything. If you wish, of course, you can. But this is simple. You just grab your scissors and you start cutting, and this will be your sash parts. And you just hold it in one place so it doesn't move, just like that. You turn it around, there is one more to cut. You know how kids, you give them a toy in a box and they're so excited about box, and they make, like girls will make a princess castle out of it, boys would make a sports car out of it. So you can make anything out of clothes to nothing. So this will be our sash. You see, we just cut ourselves 4 pieces. It will be long enough just with 3. And I already prepared for you, just to show you speed it alone. I already prepared one, so just to show you how I do it. So I just already sew in one piece, and I just pinned another one. So, and I start sewing, okay? Easy, nothing fancy. Of course, you can use Mod Podge, just glue it together, because Mod Podge dries clear. I just love it, relaxes me when I do handiwork. You just forget yourself, your troubles or your issues, and you just creating and relaxing. What I like to do, I don't know how you make it, but that's how I do it, to tie a knot. I just rub it around my finger and I just move it just like so, and it creates really good knot, especially for dryer sheet, which is a little bit holey and thin. So that's how I like to do it. And I cut it. And now I just sew it in. I start just like that. I make my end meet. I pull my needle through it just to secure it, really nice and neat, and just do simple stitch, literally just in, out, in, out, in and out. Nothing fancy. Anybody can do it. My granddaughters can do it. When you show them, it's easy. Anybody can do it. And that's why YouTube is so great. You don't know how to tie a knot, they'll show you. Somebody knows how to tie a good knot for any reason. And what I like to secure at the end, you know, you go to the end and I just this way. I just put it right here. And what I do next, I just secure it right like so. And I like to do it twice, just because I used to be in rough with my clothes, running bicycle and all. Anytime I buy new clothes, I make sure ends are secured and not unraveled. And here we go. This is our sash, already ready to be used. Next step. Right here, this is my middle, because we're going to be attaching actual apron to sash, so I just put my middle marker right here. Put it right there. The same way we just sewn in, I just started, but at the end I'll show you what I will do. So I continue my stitches, easy, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out. At the end I stop. I grab my bunny and I see what size do I want. Where do I want apron to be? Let's say I want it from, and I just pull on it. Let's say I want it to be this wide, okay? That's where I stop. If I want it a little bit wider, that's where I will stop. So up to you, you designer of this fancy bunny clothes. Let's say I want it right here. What I will do, I will secure right there, just like we did, just do a little knot. And it's as good as it is, and it's done. We secured. And also you can see I already marked my middle on my apron. And you align your 2 middles. And you start doing what? So again. So we grab another needle with thread I already prepared with my fancy not. And what I like to do, you just, like I said, you just adjust the way you want your ruffles on the apron, and you put your middle to middle, and you just, for now, you're just going to secure it. That's all you do. And you secure it on this end, just about in the middle of your sash. Just for now, just for a second. And you secure on another edge, just for now, just for a second. And you're trying to keep it in the middle. Next, you of course remove your marker. You no longer need it. You fold it. And now you know where you will be beginning. So you remove your markers. And again, you're doing simple in and out. When you reach point where you need to remove your marker, you remove it. You're doing simple in and out. And last time we're going to remove the last marker. In and out, in and out. And you secure it at the end. I just love creating. Always bring memories about me sitting with my grandma on her lap. She holding me in her hands and showing me how to crochet, my first crochet hook. I love her. She's my guardian angel. She's in heaven now watching over me. Thank you, Grandma, for your love. Isn't it pretty? And so, as you can see, I didn't use, like we did on our another project, underlayer. Totally up to you. Totally. And like I said, even now I'm still working on this project. I don't know what it will be looking like. All I know, I will be making something really pretty. With love for whomever I create it for. Myself, for my house, make it cozy, for my beautiful granddaughters, to make them feeling loved, that I made something special for them, for your friends. So they appreciate, you actually know what they love, and you made it yourself. And now I'm just going to tie it just to show you how I tie it. And why I like it sash to be that wide, because when you tie it, it looks so defined and so pretty. And I just show you real quick, nothing fancy. Just like that. That's our bunny apron. And again, up to you how you want to decorate it. Either you want to make it rustic, you create it rustic. If you want it to be a princess, you might add lace and make it a princess bunny or Victorian bunny. Whatever you feel like. That's our project. If you like this and my story and creating with me, please subscribe so you don't miss our next projects or see how this bunny outfit turn out when I will be done with it. Please create, enjoy your creating art. I love you. I see you soon. Bye for now.